So let's go ahead. We'll call this meeting to order. We'll do a roll call.
Cindy Kirby.
Rick Barnett.
Jason Rush.
Rod Sell.
Jan Diamantine.
And Linda. No, she's here just in time to be here for roll call. So, okay, we are going to start. We'll let you get your breath. I was really afraid I was going to do that, and I wasn't walking. So. No, you're here. You got here right in time for you to.
Making sure you're settled.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do approval of minutes from the last meeting, May 21st. I didn't see any concerns. Anybody else? How about a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes
Oh,
as
you're
they're
way ahead
written.
of me. Okay.
And I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Discussion items. The first discussion is the city update, and we're going to let Jason go with that.
I'll actually, I'll do the first and the third together. Cheetah Lake update and the city update. We'll start with Cheetah Lake. Work will be starting late October. We've already awarded the CMGC contract to Knife River. So they'll be starting on the first phase late October. It'll be most of the work out in the right of way on Wyrick. The utilities will be brought in, extended from where they're out in the road into the park. They'll be working on the multi-use path along Wyrick and all the upgrades for sidewalks and infrastructure, property line to property line on our side of Wyrick for the whole park. We got some estimates on everything that was in the design, and it was quite a bit more than we were expecting. So we're using some of that value engineering with the CMGC, structure to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing out there. The things that we know are going to be happening. The restroom will be put in. The paths will be in. We are going from concrete paths down to asphalt. Paved paths because it'll save us some money, and there's not going to be a whole lot of difference. We'll get the utilities and prep for the stage, and as much of that as we can with the budget. We will have the north end of the parking lot paved for the ADA spots, but I believe the rest of the parking lot will probably stay gravel. There may be some of the storm drain infrastructure put in and maybe brought up to grade so that we could pave at a later date. It's just prices of a lot of that construction are well above what we thought they were going to be. We did meet over in Albany. Rick invited us over to look at the stage that they just put in down at Monteith, and it's a beautiful stage to maybe give us some ideas, but I don't think we're going to be to that point with this budget yet. But we're going to have electrical, a lot of the dirt work put in for the stage and things like that, so that we can either get other grants or put it into the city budget to get that built later on. But we'll at least have, a flat area, hopefully concrete with the electrical, so that we could bring in a portable stage for concerts and events back there. So it will be one of those things that you'll go back there and probably go, where did all the money go? But a lot of it'll be in the ground. Utilities cost a lot, dirt work costs a lot, so we're trying to get as much done as we can, best bang for our buck, but it will be not as much as we were hoping for. But it's moving along, and like I say, toward the end of October they'll be moving machinery in and starting on the work out there. Anybody have any questions on the Cheetah Lake stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
I know I would. Are they going to put lighting? Are you going to put lighting along the ADA paths?
Yeah, there's lighting designed for all of the paths.
Okay.
That is one thing that we've talked about to save a little bit of money on keeping the lighting maybe for the ADA pass back to the stage, and maybe cut either. I don't think getting rid of it completely, maybe scaling down some of the lighting on the rest of the paths. They're designed, so the old mill trail was designed a light every 75 feet. And these were originally designed double that, so a light every 150 feet. But we may maybe take some of the lights off at the end just to save a little bit of money. it kind of depends on how some of the other things fall in budget wise. But yeah, there will be lighting, especially back to the stage and around that area for
And
ADA.
then the restroom building is gonna go up where the diamonds up the top.
No, the restroom building will be almost
Restroom
down
building.
where the Strawberry Festival's office is.
Oh, supposed to be down there.
Yeah, I finally
Managed to get that moved.
I
Good
finally
job.
talked.
Good job.
I harped on somebody enough that we got that moved a little further
Okay,
down.
and then there'll be lighting probably around that.
Yeah, there will be lighting
And
around
then when
that.
you say paving the ADA, so
So
the
the-
north, that's from the bushes to the park? Is that what you're talking about? What's the north?
So kind of the parking lot that's open year round now.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That we
Okay.
don't have blocked off.
Yep.
It'll be that north area. That'll be where the ADA spots are, kind of the parking lot that gets used year round.
But you're not taking out any of the grass around the pump house or anything right now? That's all staying?
No.
Yeah, okay. That's what I wanted to confirm. Thank you.
Anybody else any questions? Yeah.
Couple of trail questions. So they're gonna put a trail along Wyrick. How far is that gonna go? Is it just?
It'll go from property line to property line. So just in front of the park.
Okay.
So it'll be just like we would any, private development, it will improve from our property line to our property line.
Okay.
So for right now, it won't be the best. I mean, it won't really connect anything, but eventually when the rest of the properties get developed, it'll all connect into a multi-use path,
Right.
city standard and all that.
So with the internal trails that are gonna happen, you said are gonna be completed, is that gonna create a loop at all? Is it to extend the existing trail system that's there? Is it gonna loop back with some of the ADA
Yeah,
pathways?
it should create actually a couple different loops. So it'll take the trails that are there right now. I don't know if it'll be a trail or just the access road up I guess it'd be kind of the southwest side of the property. And then there'll be a trail as you go into the property that goes up right to like the Camp Post area. There'll be a trail that goes from there all the way north and connect into the existing trail.
And that's what I was looking for, just
Yeah.
connections, even if it's a road, it's still
Yeah.
gonna be used.
So
as a
yeah,
trail.
there'll be quite a few connections in there after this
Great.
is all done. to
That's a
make,
huge improvement.
You'll be able to do quite a few different loops in there. So it'll all work out pretty good.
And this doesn't affect the use of the current trail system during construction?
No, it shouldn't. I mean, there may be sometimes when a little bit of it is kind of shut down or limited, but it shouldn't. It's going to be mostly taking. We're going to be working on the side of the park with the access road where there isn't a trail right now, so it shouldn't really affect it too much.
So one of the early drawings was going to cut the trail out that goes through the center of the park. Is that going to stay in this?
Yeah, we won't be taking any trails out.
Okay,
So if and when there is ever baseball fields put in, we'd have
Right.
to reconstruct some trails, but we don't even have enough money to do the stuff we want to do now. So it'd be quite a ways down the road until we can do
Glad
those.
we're making all those trail connections.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say I appreciate the fact that you're getting all that underground work done, all the stuff you don't see, because that's I just want that to be in the minutes, because that is very expensive, and very important, and people won't see that, and so they'll say, "What did you spend all your money on?"
Yeah. And the last thing we want to do is put a bunch of trails and stuff in and then have to tear it up later to put the infrastructure in under it. So that's kind of our thinking. So.
I appreciate your thinking in that.
Yeah. Well, it was people other than me, but our thinking is the city as a whole.
Are you anticipating construction problems because it's going to happen during the wet season? Is that we're just going to?
No, I mean, Knife River, they know what they're doing. So I think out there with that ground, you have water mitigation regardless of the season. So we did the water and sewer line down Wyrick 2 years ago in the wintertime. So we have a pretty good idea of what it's going to take to mitigate the water. So they've just planned for it.
Thank you.
And you're not removing the water line to the east side, right? Need to make sure that water stays in place. It goes to those bushes where the carnival sets up.
Yeah, no, it'll stay in
Make
place.
sure there's still water that goes
Yep.
across there.
Okay, so the next update for city update would be the North Shore Trail bank repair. We've met with City of Albany multiple times. with their crews. They, excuse me, they submitted drawings to FERC. FERC is the federal agency that governs the canal for them. They submitted drawings, got approved, a drawing approved on how we can repair the bank. So we're going to be working together with them. Albany is going to be buying the material. We're going to be providing the materials and the labor. They're going to have a couple Albany city crew working with us to kind of help us, canal specific things. A couple of their canal guys, 1 or 2, will be there helping us out. And it's going to start the week of October 6th. We're hoping to get it done within a week, but it may spill a little bit into the next week. During that time, pretty much the trail system at Cheetah will be shut down because we'll be running machinery back and forth. It'll be on the section that'll come from Cheetah Lake Park down to the Fingers, so that'll be blocked off, and then we'll be running some of our smaller dump trucks back in there, constantly bringing in rock. So it'll pretty much shut down that trail system for at least a week. I know it's kind of a bummer to have that shut down for that amount of time, but in the end, I think it'll help reduce, any bank erosion, things like that. Once it's all done, they kind of have this blueprint that FERC has not really rubber stamped, but is approved, so that if there's bank erosion anywhere else, they can kind of send in the same blueprint, say this is what we did before, this is what you guys okayed. And since it's already been through the process, it should be a lot easier to get it approved. We want to keep going on this partnership with Albany, just so that we can kind of work together and make sure that nothing bad happens to the bank, so we can keep the trail on it and they can keep, keep everything good on their end. So I'm hopeful for that. When that's all done, we're going to look into maybe some fencing options, and then we also talked to them about not taking out the brush on the canal side to maybe more of a natural barrier to keep people and pets and everything out of the canal. If that doesn't work out, BLT's offered to put up some signs. We're going to try some other methods first, and then if that doesn't seem to work, maybe we'll go the sign method, but I don't think signs do as much as we think. So we're going to try some other things first. Other than that, things have been going good in the parks. I want to thank Thad and Joanna Nelson, BLT, for their generous donation of a self-propelled leaf blower. We haven't picked it up yet, but they donated it so that we can do some more maintenance on the trails and get it done faster, so that my guys have more time to tackle some other things. So we're excited to try that out, and hopefully it works really good and can help us out. The crews are keeping busy with normal park stuff. We installed new fencing at Booth Park to keep people from driving in the park and getting stuck. We've been just doing the day-to-day stuff, kind of trying to keep up on vandalism, things like that. The River Park Trail is under construction. I met out there with Thad, Joanna, Rod, and Jan. We kind of walked it a little bit. Scott Jones, our engineering project manager, said paving should be next Tuesday, and then concrete Thursday and Friday, and then it sounds like within a couple weeks that'll be all good to go. So, and then BLT has talked about putting some trees in coming up November and then next spring. So, kind of excited for that to work with them and get that taken care of. Other than that, that's about all I had for the city update. If anybody has any questions on that stuff.
Any questions? Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So we have Lebanon Garden Club update on street trees, and I'm not sure who's doing that. Oh, it's you. Okay.
And I want to say I have one of our community projects committee members here, Rachel Erb. We have a $2,500 grant from Pacific Power, thanks to Jason, for street trees. And Blue Heron will be working with us again. That means we get trees at wholesale prices. We sent letters with applications to people who own houses on 2nd Street from H to Elmore where there are wide planting strips. And nobody responded. We gave them at least 3 weeks. So Wendy Mogstad and I walked 5th Street from A Street to F Street on September 6th. And we got to talk to some of the residents and we left information for others. There were 3 people who were pretty excited, but I still have no applications. I have, I've been talking with some people since, so we may, we'll probably get some applications. One of them will be from the Foursquare Church, which has, whose property borders on 5th and 6th and C. They think they can fit only one tree on 5th Street, but they would like to plant on C and 6th. And the way our committee feels now is that we should plant trees wherever we can. Lebanon has been recognized as a city that is lacking in trees, and it's just getting hotter and hotter. And so we are happy to have the church take them. We also have somebody on William Street, the street we planted last year, who wants 1 tree. Hopefully soon we'll have, we want to get up to $2,500 because I don't think we can get change from that voucher. Also, I asked Jason, I don't know if you saw this message, Jason, whether the city would want trees along the ball courts at Century Park.
I don't recall seeing the email, but that could have just been me not seeing it. But yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't. I'd have to check the utility maps, make sure we don't have any utilities under there, but we should be able to find some spots
Great.
along either Rose or 5th. So, yeah.
The planting strip there on 5th is narrow at that point, but the trees could be planted on the other side of the sidewalk. I don't see why not. So hopefully we will have all the tree orders that we need soon, and then hopefully the city will be able to review the applications soon so that we can go ahead with some fall planting and don't have to put it off till spring, which is not such a good time to plant. Also, next year there's a possibility of our applying for a National Garden Club grant of up to $2,000. But we would want to do that for street trees only if we could open up the opportunity to all Lebanon residents, because it is just hard to try to get people on one stretch of a street at a time. It's not working for us. I mean, the idea of having an alley of beautiful trees is wonderful, but the combination of utilities and residents who just aren't focused on the outdoors makes that difficult. So would that be a possibility?
I guess I'm not sure of the question.
To take applications from people anywhere in the city.
Yeah, no, that'd be fine.
Good.
I mean, yeah, we will process applications from, yeah.
Anybody? Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if you wanted to expand the project you're doing now, I mean, you can, we don't have any issue with trees planted as long as there's not any utilities, under or overhead.
Right.
So, yeah, if you wanted to expand to side streets or smaller neighborhoods, anything like that.
Wonderful.
So,
we may do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to tell you also about this project that we're hoping to do at River Park. So we wanted to do a park project as well as a street tree project. And our committee met with Tyrell Stile and Alex Shoulders from the South Santiam Watershed Council. And together with us, they looked at the erosion at the south end of the park. It's really bad and getting worse every year. And so they gave us advice. Did you want to say something, Jason?
Is it River Park or Riverview Park?
Did I say?
You said River Park, but I think you
sorry.
meant
Thank you
Riverview.
for
Yeah,
correcting me.
down by Riverview School.
I'm
Okay.
talking
All
about
right.
Riverview Park.
Yeah.
Thank you. They gave us advice on what to do. They said we could plant from the bank all the way to an existing tree that's there, that we would need about 700 cuttings. We just put them in the ground and expect about 40% survival rate. There are willows and red osier dogwoods there along the river, so we could use cuttings from there. And also Rachel lives on the river and has willows that we might be able to take cuttings from. So we've gone ahead and scheduled 2 workdays for October 25th and November 1st, both Saturdays. The garden club is mostly made up of little old ladies, so we really need young and strong helpers, like a youth group or a church group or a group of employees. So if anybody could help with that, we would appreciate it. And then we may do another planting day in February, at which time we could get more cuttings from the South Santiam Watershed Council. We could buy them for about $1 a piece. And a member of the club says she has access to 400 red alder cuttings. So we might get those too. And we also might consider the possibility of buying rooted cuttings, which would be more likely to survive from the Small Woodland Association. So that's where we are right now. Oh, that's not the end. To protect the area while these trees are getting established, trees or shrubs, we need some kind of temporary fencing. And so I wondered if you had recommendations for that.
Go ahead.
We've used just the orange temporary fence in the past. I guess one of the biggest issues I would have is anything that we put in there, like this time of year, has a big possibility of getting washed out if it floods. So I don't know if I'd want to use something like that if it did get washed out would get caught further down. So I don't know if there's some more type of natural material. Anything you can think of, Rick?
No, we use the same you do.
Yeah. So
But
I
the
guess.
Watershed Council might know. So.
Yeah, I would probably talk to them and see what they would recommend, because like I say, if it did get flooded and washed out, I'd hate for that to get tangled further down the river and turn into a hazard for somebody.
And could the fishermen get through there?
We wouldn't want them to. Rachel was concerned about kayakers, but we thought we'd have a sign that would direct people downstream where there's a beach where it's easy to put a kayak in. So people stepping over that bank would just, I think, cause more problems.
I guess if you put the fence up high enough and kind of blocked out a bigger area with some signage to kind of let them know what was happening, might be a possibility. We'd probably have to go down and look at it and kind of lay it out where it'd be up high enough that it would be at less risk of getting washed downstream, but still not too much of an area to, take out a big swath of the park for an extended period of time. I think we can work something out.
It really isn't a very big area.
Yeah.
And the fishermen would be able to walk up to that and then go around and go on the other side. So it wouldn't put them out of business.
Okay. We'll have to get together and go down there and take a look, and
Great.
we'll figure something out.
Okay. We'd also like to put 2 shade trees in that park because there are 2 benches and no shade for them. But our problem is we'd need somebody to water. The tree near the river the tree that would be near the river, by the bench near the river, is less problematic because it can be watered by bucket from the river. But there's another bench by the parking lot, and we don't know what to do about that. And I'm thinking of asking the neighbor if they would be willing to run a hose from their house and take care of that.
You may be able to if you ask nicely.
Jim McKinnon.
Yeah, Jim McKinnon, who does all the watering for the BLT trees. I'm sure
Well,
if
I
we
was
asked Jim
thinking,
nicely, he wouldn't mind adding another one to his
yeah,
his
I was
list.
thinking that you guys are probably on your 3rd year of watering those trees, and you're not going to go beyond that, are you?
We're not.
Right, so, but,
We'll have 10 in River Park to water, and then there's some out at Mark's Flu they water. And there's some at Gills Landing.
right, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to bring the equipment to Riverview Park for 1 tree or 2 trees, right?
I don't know.
Just a truck and
Depends
trailer.
on how easy it is to get to.
Yeah.
You know, and Jim hasn't, he's been able to drive the truck a little bit, but he hasn't been able to do any watering per se. So he's still in recovery.
And if it gets down to it, I have the temps in the summer that do the flower watering and the tree watering downtown. We could add it onto our schedule as well. So
And if you plant the tree by a bench, there's a good chance BLT will want to water that or partner with you to take care of it.
Right, I just figured it would not be easy for you, so I was hoping to find some. I may still ask the neighbor, but yeah, these are all good possibilities. And I looked at the voucher from Pacific Power, and I think if we needed to spend all that money, we could use part of that grant for those 2 trees, because the voucher doesn't say that we're limited to street trees. That's all.
Any questions for Linda and the garden club stuff?
Who waters the ones down on Williams? I see you got things around them, but.
Yeah, the residents are supposed to water them. I've had to nag a couple of them. And we may lose 1 tree for lack of water. And there's another one we may lose for, I don't know what reason. I know it's been well cared for. But I think it's too early to replace them. I think we need to see if they come back in the spring.
Good. Other questions? I'm disappointed that the people at on Second weren't more excited about it, because Second just really could use that, but anywhere helps. And then the cuttings, those actually work amazingly well, and they're cheap. So
That's good to know.
yeah, you'll lose half of them, but you just overplant it to start with. And then blue heron, they'll do you good. So good job. Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to a BLT update. Who has that? Oh, we're switching it up.
We're switching it up because Rod was hoping not to be here. He was hoping to be on his vacation. Number one, I want to thank the city for, I don't know what they call that, the runoff or what, from the water treatment plant that goes into Cheadle all summer or most of the summer.
yeah, it's not runoff. So when we draw the raw water out of the river, we do it at the intake, which is up River Road, and then it gets pumped down. We call it the raw water pipe. And when we say raw, it's just untreated river water. There's a valve because it crosses underneath the canal in the parking lot at Cheadle, and there's a valve that they can turn on so that whenever they're bringing raw and treated water to the plant, it just siphons some off and shoots it into the lake. So in the summertime, they just open the valve more, and every time, whenever we're making water, it just shoots it into the lake.
Yeah,
So-
it really made the lake look a lot better because
Yeah.
usually by July or August, it looks like pea soup out
And
there.
a lot of it has to do with how Albany is keeping the canal, because part of our agreement and working with Albany is we have to keep the lake and the canal level similar, so that we don't put pressure on the bank one way or another. So if Albany keeps good water height in the canal, we can keep a better one in the lake. So a lot of times the last couple of years when people have been worried about the lake levels, it's kind of our hands are kind of tied. Like we have to keep it at a certain height compared to the canal, or else Albany gets a little upset with us. So
Yeah, it's amazing the people that go out to Cheadle.
Yeah.
Wow, it's
So-
really amazing if you go out there any time of the day. We also contracted Mammoth They do some power scrubbing of cleaning of the benches over at Cheetah Lake. The ones on the third finger were really, really bad, and some of us have tried to clean them manually, and it's a lot of work. It's more work than we want to do again. So we contracted this guy from Mammoth, and I think he did a pretty good job. It was we think a little expensive, but we'll talk to him again about it. So anyway, if you notice the benches, they look much better. Since our last meeting, we've had a couple work parties, Build Lebanon Trails has. One was encampment out on the Island Loop trails at Cheadle. And the city, we had a good work party a couple months ago, and we cut a lot of the stuff out so it'd be less appeasing for them to camp out, because the city cleaned up a huge encampment out there, and they were really hidden. You didn't really see it. It was so hidden. And then the city was able to come and take care of all the debris that we cut. We also did a work party at River Park last Saturday. We cut a lot of the ivy out. And if you get a chance, go down to River Park. It's so exciting. There's going to be a loop trail. Probably will be completed in a couple weeks down there. And we're also going to plant 10 trees total, probably 5 in November and then 5 in the spring down there to kind of enhance the tree or the loop trail. And Linda helped us trim ivy, which thank you, Linda. And yes, I was going to talk about the blower donation by BLT. Jason says it's going to make life a lot easier to blow off the trails, and that's what we want. We feel bad when the city has to do so much work for the trails, and we try to do a lot of it, but you know, we're a small people with few tools. Then we cleaned last month, we cleaned off 21 graffitis on the trail. It's just amazing what they decide to write on the trail. One was giving directions to take their motorhome over to Century Park. And so each slab of concrete had a little more instructions on. And Rod and I went out, and I mean, we scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed. And you can kind of see where we scrubbed on the concrete. We also, we know the trails cost the city more, and it's not just today that they have to look after the trails and keep them up, but it's for the next 50 years after our lifetime. And so we kind of want to know where BLT is on keeping, we always like trails in the hopper, so to speak. That's a term Rod has always used. You know, the Burkett Creek trails, there's a lot that we could have in the hopper, and I guess we want to know where our hands are tied on that right now.
I would have to find out on that. It's a little outside of my realm. It'd be more of a Jason Williams and a Ron question. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of more the plan out in the future, and I'm dealing with the maintenance on the day-to-day stuff. So we can definitely find out and let you know on the next meeting, or even an email before that.
Okay.
So. Also,
I wanted to say that it takes a village, and 44 North people have adopted the Eagle Scout Trail, and they work on it quarterly. And if you go down there very often on the Eagle Scout Trail, it's very visible that they work really hard on it. We also have had the Carpenters Union come and help us, and we had them help us out at Cheadle when we did the encampment, and also Saturday. And they're really great people, and they're strong younger people. You know, Rod and I are getting older, and so we really welcome any association or volunteerism or whatever to come and help us take care of things along the trail. So Rod, you got to have something.
I got something, yes. So they, also where the Carpenters Union helps us is with our Cheetah Lake Run. And that's how it kind of got started. One gentleman there wanted to get the hall involved, and so then they come from all over, from Salem, Eugene, and even farther, because they all work out of the hall. So we're very thankful for that. The other project we have going is at Beaton Lane. We're making some improvements to the Bark Slough Trail Loop, and which includes moving a fence and creating more of a chevron, a shared road area down Beaton Lane in between the west side of the trail system and the east side of the trail system on the other side of Tennessee Road. So that's all been approved with the property owner. We've done some exchange of some right-of-way, and we should be seeing some of those improvements happening in the next few months.
Okay, anything else for BLT? Questions? Okay, we're going to go for public comment. We have a little bit of public. Do we have any public comments? Okay, well, we have to do it all official-like, yeah. And they tell me that if the thing is green, it's on. So push the button if it's great. It looks green to me. Is it green? Okay.
It's green. Can y'all hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself and whatever you got.
Okay, I'm Sharon Franklin. I live over by Porter Park, and I'm here to talk about Porter Park. But first, I have questions for three of you. Jason, you seem to be the man that knows everything. Out at the Cheadle Lake, the lake part, there's a tree at the very beginning of that walk that it completely destroys the entrance into that walk. It's cherries coming down, and it covers the entire path. You can't get into the main part of that walk. Is there any way, and I don't know, Jan, if that blower you're talking about is used there, but it's quite nasty. I walk my dogs out there at least 3 times a week, and it sticks in their paws, it sticks in your shoes, and it's literally at the beginning hanging over that walkway. Is there a way to, I hate to say cut a tree, but since you're closing the park
Yeah.
in October anyways, is that something that could be looked at?
Yeah, we can look into that. And we haven't received the blower yet. It's still getting delivered from the company. So maybe once we get that, it would be help to mitigate it. But fruit trees have their place. But
This one covers
next
the
to a-
entire
yeah,
walkway.
next
There
to
are
a-
quite a few that
next
land
to a
on the
sidewalk or
walkway.
a street is usually not the best place. So we'll definitely look into that for you.
Okay, great. Then Linda, real quick, you mentioned the garden club needing help. Have you tried to tap into the high school? Sophomores and juniors need to pad their college applications with community service. They do. In order to get into college, those colleges, A, doesn't matter, but community service does. So maybe talk to sophomore and junior advisors. It's too late for seniors, but sophomores and juniors are looking at college applications and community work. You're welcome. Jan, you mentioned the work party at Cheetah Lake, and I always think of the lake. After the 4th of July, after the fireworks go off, it is destroyed with garbage cardboard. Is there a way to get the work party out there? I would join, but I walk my dogs on that little island, and it's filthy for, well, you can still find cardboard from the fireworks. Just something.
The fireworks company is supposed to clean that up, and they did. Last year there was a problem with that, and they did a better job this year, I think. But I'll check into that with the 4th of July committee that puts that 4th of July show on.
Boy Scouts, maybe somebody
yeah.
that, get the community involved in that.
Yeah, I'll talk to that, we'll talk to that committee and we'll see if there's something we can do to help with that.
Okay. What we actually came for, though, was to talk about Porter Park. We live right across the street from Porter Park, and we were in the initial conversations with the URD. About creating that as a park, what would happen, making it a community garden, having a play structure, including the Cheetah Lake and the fairgrounds, and that was all approved. And then the playground kind of went to the wayside. And so we're here to ask, how do we help get that moving forward? Because our son, 38 years old, he was the last group of kids in that neighborhood, but there are a ton of kids in that neighborhood now. For the first time, we're seeing them. There are 6 apartment complexes within a half a mile of that park. We are the only people in the immediate vicinity using that park. And it would be lovely if there was a way to get a play structure in there that we watch our grandfather walk his grandchild around in a wagon. Nothing. The families that are coming in to use the garden, the children get bored. And if there was a play structure there, that would be something that would hopefully bring the community, the immediate vicinity, kind of together. There's no place to sit out there. There are no park benches. It's literally use a combination, get in, tend your garden. And no one in the immediate neighborhood, except for us, are using that garden. And we would love to see kind of more of a community feel in that area. So is there a way to get a grant I could help? I don't know.
So that park was designed and built before I started, and I know originally there was designed for play structure, and I guess I've never asked the question why it never got put in. I don't know if Sierra, do you know any reasoning? I know we've talked about there's an area there set aside for the play structure, and I know it's been talked about using it for other things, but I don't particularly know why it never got put in. So. Normally what it comes down to is funding, but I'll have to find out, and if Sierra can get your information, an email or a good phone number, I'll find out and get back to you. It'll probably be early next week.
That's okay.
But we can definitely look into it and see what the holdup is, or if there's any there, and there could be some future plans. But it would be a boost to that neighborhood, and like you say, with the apartments and things going on in there, it'd be good to have. So I will find out, and we will get back to you and let you know for sure.
Excellent. Thank
all
you so
right.
much.
Can I add something? I talked to Jason Williams about that exact thing last year, and he was going to go for a grant this year, and he did not succeed. I don't know if he got the application in or not, but he said he would, that you guys would go for a grant this coming year. So, yeah, he's already been thinking about it.
I'll follow up with him. Unfortunately, I'm getting over a cold. He's starting to get it, so he couldn't be here today, so I had to fill in. Seems like it's running through our maintenance shop, the cold bug. So I'll find out from him, and like I say, I'll get back to you guys sometime next week.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right, appreciate
In
it.
all defense for the city, I talked to one of the parks persons, and it's just terrible, the vandalism and the destroying of the bathrooms in the parks. And we were just told today that they replaced some slides in the parks that were vandalized, and it cost them, the city, $17,000. So,
Yeah.
they got to look at the whole picture. And I understand what you're saying. I go by that park a lot, and it's like, it's missing a couple things.
Yeah.
But yeah, really costs the city a lot to keep up these parks.
It would-
It's sad.
I would say fairly confidently, it'd definitely be something we'd have to get a grant for. Play structures are a lot more expensive than people realize, and I think a lot of it has to do with the liability. You can put one in your backyard you get from Home Depot, and it's not that big of a deal, but the ones we have to get are specifically designed for public use, and the liability, and Rick can attest to this.
Yeah,
with their-
I signed something to pay $10,000 for 2 teeter-totters. That
Yeah.
was it. 2
Yeah,
teeter-totters.
we got
$10,000.
two replacement slides for our 2 of our play structures that somebody decided to cut one and I think light a fire in the other one and melt it, and it was $17,000 to get them here, and then all of our man hours to install, take the old ones out and install the new ones. So unfortunately, it's something that we have to deal with on a daily basis, and it's unfortunate because a lot of that money could be put into upgrades on the parks, but unfortunately we have to use it to maintain and replace things that have been vandalized and broken. But I will look into it and get back to you guys, and I think it'd be a great addition over there to really make the park more community friendly. I know it's a community garden, and a lot of the reason for the fence and the code is because of the vandalism and theft of people's produce and things out of the garden, that it's unfortunately we have to keep it locked up. It can't be a true community garden because people don't respect other people's stuff. So unfortunately, but
don't be discouraged. There is state grants that come through. It's just a matter of it being the right place at the right time to build stuff.
Yeah,
You can't afford to build stuff unless you get a grant.
Yeah, and we've been pretty lucky, and Sierra's getting a lot better at grant writing, so she loves it so much. So I'm sure it'll, if we put our minds to it, it'll happen sooner than later. So, and I appreciate you guys showing up and asking the question.
Thank you.
Anything
All right.
else, or is that all you got? Thank you.
That was a
Appreciate
lot.
your
Yeah,
coming.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go through and just see if any of the committee members have anything. Got anything? Rod? Well, that is good. So our next scheduled meeting is December 17th, same place. And we will adjourn. Thank you.